Hi everyone, so we are West Africa Vocational Education with Hospitality Academy. So essentially we are focused on the problem of youth unemployment in Africa, in West Africa. And no surprise, the age 15 to 30 demographic across the 15 countries that make up West Africa gives you about just over 43 million unemployed young people who are no different to us in this room, just that they didn't have the same opportunities that we were exposed to get us the education and the livelihood and social mobility that we now have access to. So that is our target demographic. And Meet Friday, pretty much like any one of us in his mid-20s, lives on $2 a day, has an informal hustle, trading cell phones and airtime credit, limited soft skills and no technical skills, no personal networks or connections to help him get his job. He does pimp his CV out from time to time, but doesn't get called back. But yeah, he's resilient, he's flexible, he's a creative thinker, and he's a problem solver. Chronically unemployed and locked out of the informal economy because of those barriers. What is his potential? He could eventually have an entry-level frontline job that leverages his innate abilities. He could be earning more than $8 a day. He could have a stable growing income and develop a range of technical skills and career advancement opportunities. Now, what is stopping him from where he is today to where he could be? It's really the lack of qualifications, academic qualifications that we are all obsessed with in our dear continent, the lack of relevant skills that employers are looking for, and the lack of personal networks to help him get a foot in the door. Enter WAVE, West Africa Vocational Education, and our target, our mission is really to empower people with skills that lead to jobs, that are linked to entry-level jobs. How do we do this? First of all, we screen people for their innate strengths. Now, what are their innate strengths? Emotional intelligence, behavioral propensities, natural side hustle, or problem-solving abilities that we talk about. So the idea is in every person in the room, in any group of people, we all have innate strengths that make us good at certain types of jobs. Some people are good at breaking down complex things and explaining them in a simple manner. That person is essentially a teacher, but have never thought about their skills as being good communication skills. So we screen for emotional intelligence. We have we're working with faculty at the Harvard Medical School and the Department of Psychology to create our own proprietary emotional intelligence test, which is basically accumulation of validated tests that already exist. Changing the language to make it more accessible to our target demographic of people who have essentially just a high school education in Africa. And then this allows us to level the playing field for these people so that they're no longer screened based on IQ and academic qualifications, which they lack. Next, we train them in a 150 hours intensive soft skills training program focused on problem-solving skills, communication, teamwork, negotiation, decision-making, and operation standards, occupational skills. So I'd say about 70% of our training is really soft skills that are transferable across any industry and level of employment. And then 20-30% is about the practical occupational skills. The idea is that after the 3 weeks of training, which brings down our cost because we've condensed it to 18 days, we then partner with employers to provide technical apprenticeships where they're learning the occupational practical skills on the job over a 3-month process. This allows us to upskill them and prepare them for the relevant job. Then we place them. We currently have 80% of our students have been placed in jobs. But optically what we tell our students is that 50% of them are guaranteed a job. And that allows, one, it increases their motivation throughout the program, and two, it allows us to actually provide and guarantee that we're providing the top students to our employers. So two sets of clients. And we have to provide the best students. But internally our target rates are 75% placement rates. And then we continue their learning. When they're on the job, they come back for continuous classes on the weekends, and we just help them throughout the 3-month apprenticeship program until they are confirmed as full-time employees by the employer. And so what have we done to date? We launched last August, and since then we've trained, in 2 cycles of training, we've trained 24 unemployed young people. We just actually finished our 3rd batch of training this week, where we trained another 20 people. And of the people we've trained, 80% of them are now working in hospitality and retail companies, including some international hotels in Lagos, Nigeria. The average income transformation, we're taking these guys from unemployed, zero-income dependent, living on their own with their families, to $210 a month is the average salary of our 19 students who are working, which is just over twice of the national minimum wage in Nigeria. And we're essentially converting Africa's youth from demographic liabilities, which Oke talked about earlier this morning. It's a wonderful keynote, reversing the ticking time bomb and turning them into demographic dividends. And lastly, yeah, there are 43 million such Fridays. These are some of our students who now have jobs. And we've given them marketable skills, work experience, and really for them, the sky's the limit. And if I haven't run out of about 5 minutes, I just want to tell you a story about a really cool girl called Mary, who's one of our students. Within 1 month of